September 4th, 2018. Pixels are terrible in here, I'm aware of that. Once again, I want to talk about why settle for tiny when you can buy something that affords a lot more room than tiny, if that's what you want. Some people don't want to do all the work that is required with a house, but I'm just going to show you some of my house. This is a view of my house from the east-north corner. This is the back door. I have another back door here. This sort of little deck we added on to it. This is a room here, upstairs. I'm not going to explain where everything is, but I will tell you that we have 3 bathrooms in this house. We have 2 kitchens. We have 6 bedrooms. We have 2 living rooms, 2 wash rooms with washer and dryer in each one. We have a front porch. I'll show you a little bit more of that. And I have a driveway. I don't have a garage, but I got this house for less than a lot of rental. The utility bills were ridiculously high when I first bought it, and right now I had a squirrel get into, like right here, so there's stuff that needs to be worked on that costs money. But if you have a tiny house or if you live in a RV, you're going to have to do some work also. This thing here I found in a dumpster and I set it up. You can sit on it. I've got plants hanging on it. I've got more of my house plants around on the side. Let's see if I can move this. Show you a little bit over here. Balcony. That's a light. Back behind here I had a peach tree that eventually just died, but I've got 2 pear trees, an apple tree, and some grapes that I put in, along with berries on the side of the house. And I'm just going to show you some random pictures of my house so you can make decisions for yourself. I know this looks terrible, but this is some cleaning out we're doing, and this stuff got rained on. This is an old dresser that my grandchildren just destroyed. We have to take to the dump, and this is some kids' toys that we're going to give away to, we know somebody that they need, but they were just moving. This camper here has a leak, so it has a tarp on. We got that for $300, and it needs a transmission, which will probably cost around $2,000 also. So I can park it here without a problem. This is part of the back area. This is the little thing that's covered with plastic that you can have a fire in. It's really nice. Pretty. I got it on sale last year. This is a table that my daughter also found and is giving to somebody. This is a kind of close-up of the east side. This right here also is squirrel damage, and along in here, and that all we need to fix before winter, because the rain's getting into it. We need to fix it. But when I bought the house, it had a chain link fence around a good portion of it. We have a dog, which is wonderful, and it's also really great for little kids. I have grandchildren. They can go outside with us, and the street is on the other side of this fence here toward us, so it keeps them safe. So this is that front part of the house where some of the damage is, and then also the rain's been leaking in along here since the squirrels attacked over here and screwed up the gutter. So a little bit of work before winter. This is part of the chain link fence with grape growing on it, and then we also have tomatoes and strawberries in through here. This is the gate that I must have left open to take the picture. Over here we have Jerusalem artichokes, and then there's some berries and some mulberries over here. And then we have other things growing along here. We have this little area of grass that we kind of goof around in once in a while, but because the street is so close, we like the privacy and sort of hang out in the back behind this other stuff more. But this is a full porch here. It goes along the full side of the house, the full front of the house. Um, it's really nice with windows that open in all the way if we want to sit down on it or even sleep out on it. I know this looks like hodgepodge, but actually this is the front. The porch is behind this. This is an apple tree I have planted out in front, and then, believe it or not, these are flowers, and we have tomatoes in here, and squash, and a bunch of other stuff growing that is edible, beans. So the gate for the fence is back behind here. It's also a bird feeder. Um, so, ta-da! This is the sidewalk with a busy street over on this side. The house you can't even hardly see behind this. I've got lilacs, tiger lilies, and all sorts of other plants growing along here. And the apple and rhubarb is in behind there. It kind of helps the noise a lot besides it's edible. And I don't put anything on it. I also have a lot of milkweed growing. That's what's there. I don't think I can get closer. But the butterflies love it, and so we have butterflies and birds in my yard. This is just kind of random. I got this lawnmower that works great, self-propelling if I want it to be, for 40 bucks off of Craigslist. And my mower wouldn't start one day. It was cheaper than fixing it. It was amazing. This is a pretty bad pic, but this is one of our cats laying on a bag of dried catnip. And what kind of a neighborhood is it? Well, this is an apartment building basically across the street from me, almost. In front, on the other side of that is a building that looks sort of like that, but, well, actually looks more like this insurance company. And then all these houses, just a nice mellow neighborhood, trees, and I'm not sure what I'm taking a picture of in this one, but it's a nice neighborhood. Our dog. So then this is part of the front yard in front of the porch that I showed you. And this is where the apple trees and stuff are. And across the street from me is a business. They're there, it's not abandoned, and then there's houses all along on both sides. And here I am smoking food in my yard. It's fantastic. And the kids can stay on the other side of the chain link fence, and so they're safe. I don't have to worry about them either. Some humongous rose hips I have. Cucumber, this is in the front yard. Queen Anne's lace and milkweed and grass. This is the Jerusalem artichoke, which grows like crazy. Put it along the fence, and it's making this really nice natural fence line that's beautiful and keeps out some of the noise. And here's some milkweed that just grew there, and I let them. This is a few months ago in the summer. Front yard. Coneflower, strawberries, and tomatoes growing together. Milkweed pod. This is part of the flower of the milkweed early in the year. This is a little bit of a picture of a park near where I live called Peace Park that's made to honor all people, all different religions, all different nationalities. It's great. I live close to it. My grandkids and I, we can go play. These are some of the berries I planted on the west side of the house. Not easy for burglars to get through that either. Here's some pear blossoms in the spring. This is some rock formations that are within walking distance of where I live in Wisconsin. So this is a partially messy room with letting you know that I have this fireplace in my house. So that is really great. And right now this is an electric fireplace that we have in there that we can pull out, and I can actually burn wood in here. I had that relined and the chimney relined, so, and then you can put, you know, I have a glass cover for that, but this is just an electric one that we bought because it's safer when children are around, and I don't need to have a fire. This electric extension cord right here, by the way, is set up This is really a cool one. It's got a really long cord on it. Because it's an older house, it doesn't have that many outlets, and I can, it keeps computers and everything safe the way it's set up. It's kind of dumb, but showing off the inside of a new stove that I got for like 40 bucks along with delivery for $10 because my other one, the element burnt out, and this is clean, which doesn't look like that anymore, but it was fantastic. And this is one of the bedrooms that the kids have been messing around in, but the whole house has this radiator heat, which is fantastic because it doesn't blow dust all over, and it really keeps it warm. It's really, really nice. And when you have an older house, you have problems such as this. So I have this leaking toilet tank. What's going on with it is it's wobbly. We tried putting sealant on it, and it's been working for years, but now it needs some work. And the screws that need to be taken out of the bottom, right here and here, are calcified. So I got a bottle of spray vinegar, and I'm going to spray it and get some of that calcium off of there. So what I actually did was I took a hacksaw and cut them off. And it took me 2 days, but I got the dang thing working, and then I put, it's got like a distance between the toilet tank and the wall back here. And so I put a 2x4 little thing that I built, just simply with 2x4, behind there so that when people sit down, they sometimes lean on the back of the toilet, which is what made it separate in the first place, so that then they can't do that. So that keeps it more stable. If you ever, hint, hint, if you ever have a problem like that. Curious cats checking out the clothes in the dryer. This is also an extra sink, and I've got cupboards up above it that I set up starting to think I could live in this little part of this house and rent out the other two areas for apartments and income. Cat, as you can see. I do have a lot of issues like this, but from everything that I see, it seems like so do a lot of people. And then this is how different the front yard looks in the winter. Another winter view. This is the apartment house across the street from me. Camper here. So kids inside of a chain link fence kept safe from just running out onto the road and being able to play. Here's a little clip when we were taking care of a room in the back that we've been just basically putting stuff into. It used to be a bedroom. Okay, we're cleaning up this back room, and in it I have this old stereo I got from Mary Lee Royce. It's got an HVAC player. And listen to the sound of that thing. It sounds great. It's really great. My grandkids are having a wonderful time playing. This is a bed, so we're going to just set that up. Oops. This is another cat picture. This cat just came to us, and we took care of her for a while, but she was too skinny, and we couldn't get her better. So we had to take her to the Humane Society. But isn't she pretty? And this flooring I also got for kind of inexpensive and put over a pretty crappy flooring, and it's nice, it's easy to clean. So this is a picture of the house in the spring. It's a pretty big house, and you can see it looks a lot different than by the time it's the end of summer. This tree here I was bummed out about because we had to cut it down. It was dying. It was like really one of the hardest things for me to do. But the city, see that orange tag on it, said it had to go. So it isn't the greatest thing, this house, as far as fantastic beauty, but I would never trade it for something smaller because it's freedom. Grateful for you here at your service.